All right. Anyway, now I don't know where my paper's at. Oh, there it is.
It's on the ground. Here, like I was kind of...
No. Anyway, no. We were just I want to put. Part of me wants to put up those the classic TV the the technical difficulties thing. Well, because like I realized I kept turning away from the mic too much last time because it was too far away from me, and even though you can't see all my face right now, I think this is a better alternative for now until we get this completely figured out.
You can still see half your face on there.
That was a joke. I was making a joke.
Well, it's a stupid fucking joke. Anyway, no, I actually kind of wrote down things so we kind of know where to go. Right now, we're just gonna kind of like just talk, not randomly, but just talk about like video game shit, like upcoming video games, all that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. About what we're excited about, or
well, we were talking about Halo Infinite before technical
difficulties. Yeah, before this whole shit. Anyway, no, I got this. I don't have any streaming equipment or anything like that, so if I do end up being able to play it, I was just gonna film myself playing it, just be like, "Hey, look, I'm playing Halo Infinite."
Yeah, I still gotta figure out my whole little game capture thing because I had an actual game capture that I bought a long time ago that worked just great on the Xbox 360, and I think it also works for the Xbox One and PS4. It's just a simple thing of just running a bunch of HDMI's through it. But I just gotta figure it out.
Was that the Hauppauge or the Roxio?
The Hauppauge or whatever.
No, the Roxio was
the old one.
The shittier one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hauppauge thing was like way better and just automatically had the audio synced.
The worst thing about recording video game stuff, and even this stuff, is usually it's longer videos, and the worst part of it is just how fucking, oh my god, when I uploaded this the previous one on Tuesday, I just had to keep checking on it to see it was taking fucking forever to upload. That's like the worst part of it, is just waiting on the fucking thing to that was always the worst thing about recording video game shit too. But anyway, I didn't know if you guys are playing anything currently, or
we'll let Kevin go ahead and
I'll go back to my
quicker.
Halo Infinite stuff at the end once you guys talk about your stuff.
Yeah, Kevin, you can go first. I feel like you'd be able to go over your video gaming way quicker because it's been just mainly GTA and Forza.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been gravitating between GTA and Forza 2 Horizon, but to talk shit about the game if you want, i.e. the rain all of the time, but it's not a bad game. The realistic driving simulation, if you will, it's in my opinion, it's on point. And then number one reason to play, obviously, would be the 86. Not necessarily the shiniest car, but my dream car in particular, because I grew up on Initial D, and I love tearing that little thing around corners at 90 to 120 miles per hour. So yeah, that's kind of like my happy place. And then of course, GTA,
you started getting into those games back when you didn't have your license.
Long before that, but I definitely played them a lot.
Well, you really into
when you
it
had
during that period.
When you had the driving fiend, like when you had the driving need, you're like, I need this. I need to drive.
Need for speed.
I knew you were gonna say that.
But other than that, I guess. What else other than Forza?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I did dabble in Doom a little while ago.
I just didn't know if there was anything that maybe you were excited for that was happening.
Excited games coming up? Yeah, I'll tag that on too. Namely, right now, mostly because we were just talking about it, so it's nice and fresh in my mind. But it is probably in my top 3 most awaited games to come out, and that's Wolverine. I was a big fan of the original movie game. As we were talking about, it was better than the movie.
Yeah, I remember that. That X-Men Origins Wolverine game is like, this is actually a pretty fucking good game.
Yeah. And they had like a bunch of extra story shit in it that was like, this is way better than the movie, and like added on way more.
Yeah.
It was more comic book inspired.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes to that.
I'm trying to like not be in the microphone when I do that.
Yeah, that had some fucking echo to it.
Yeah.
It's not as confirmed, but they have been talking about making a Superman game for the longest time. Not unlike the Arkham games. So if you can imagine
That's
a
a good-
free roam Superman game that is from those guys, basically, Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, not Rockstar. We'll get
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Rocksteady definitely has a lot on their plate. Big shoes to fill, but those people, I think, will probably pull it off. So I'm pretty excited about there being a possible Superman game. That would be fucking dope. It would just redeem every bit of Superman Apocalypse for the 64.
And they do have that Suicide Squad game coming up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place, like with a good thing to base your superhero games off of, like from when the moment happened, the game happened on when Batman Arkham games happened, because that's basically kind of what the Spider-Man PS4 game. When is the new?
Well, the new one, the one they just announced with supposed to have Venom and shit in it.
Miles.
Yeah, Venom, Miles, Peter, probably Green Goblin because they hinted at that too. That's supposed to be coming out 2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's all I said. Yeah. No, they put it way out, which I'm kind of glad they did. So they got enough time to do whatever with it, and I'm sure they'll do great with it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's like what I'm excited for. I mean, obviously I'm excited for Halo Infinite in general, but it's like the thing the Halo needed forever. Now they have is fucking bots. Like, thank God. Like they were so late to the game on bots. I forget how they're implementing them exactly. It's gonna be a little different. I forget if someone said the bots are either in that game, or I want to say the bots in Halo Infinite are actually like a little too skilled. So I think people said dial it back a little bit or something like that. Yeah, but I don't really have much else to say about that one. I mean, I'm like cautiously optimistic, I guess, because there's already been a few issues they have, like they're not having co-op at launch or something like that. They had to cut that. But like, if they're cutting things just to make sure they have a good game on time, okay, because there's been this problem with video games the past few years, it feels like, where they just like they're incomplete when they come out. It's
Buy
stupid.
half the game and later
yeah.
DLCs.
It's ridiculous. I remember back in the day when video games came out and there was your video game and that was it. When it was a full video game and they didn't have to keep.
Yeah, like I probably, as far as I can remember, the last time I ever pre-ordered a video game was No Man's Sky, and everyone knows how that launch went. It was terrible, but they added a lot like now, and it's kind of worth it to play. They also have like a VR setting. I played it off of Dakota's. It looks awesome.
Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the position of this microphone. If you hear any buzzing, it's because this cord's shitty. He's got the good cord.
Yeah, it sounds fine now. It sounded fine for a little while.
Speaking of things coming out that I'm being excited for and whatnot, kind of off topic, the movies, specifically the super.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna make a sex joke. The thing's coming out that I'm excited for, and then he just whips out his dick.
Can't show that.
Can't just be like, look my dick.
Demonetization.
Anyway, superhero movies. Yeah, Batman, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, then Batman.
Robert Pattinson and the
Flash movie. That's going to be a big drop.
dude. Michael Keaton's gonna be Batman again. Like, jeez.
Never was not Batman, but alright. Yeah, Ben Affleck and apparently Andy Serkis.
Gollum.
Yep, Gollum.
He's
who's
directing
doing
Venom too.
what?
He's directing Venom too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's also Alfred in the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. So and he's
that's right.
talking
Oh, he
about the
is.
Flash movie, like
Dude, the makeup they use on Colin Farrell is crazy for his penguin.
I don't know if I've seen images of that, but it's pretty
It's in
cool.
the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Went from
just see
bullseye
like
to
one or
penguin.
two shots of him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Shit, I didn't even realize that was Colin Farrell.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. Went from Bullseye to Penguin, can't even fucking
Yeah.
can't even recognize him.
I always forget that he was Bullseye. in
Right?
that
Yeah.
movie.
Man, I want to talk about good Bullseye. Fucking the Daredevil show.
Oh man, dude, I slept on that season. Oh, I didn't sleep on it. It was just like I never got to it. But season 3, oh,
Yeah.
that's so
I'd
good.
be very interested to see if Daredevil, not just Matt Murdock, but Daredevil makes an
Come
appearance
back in Spider-Man.
It's rumored he's supposed to, but I don't know if he's gonna be Daredevil. But he's supposed to be
There's
Matt.
no confirmations of him being Daredevil. There may be a end of the movie scene or some shit. Maybe.
Yeah,
I do
it's just
believe
like
he's just
there's-
supposed to be Peter Parker's supposed lawyer or something like that.
Yeah, there's apparently some rumors of some MCU works of Daredevil and possibly bringing John Bernthal back for Punisher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know John Bernthal would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, he would. Yeah.
But
Dudes!
the
Oh, dudes would do.
man, the Spider-Verse thing though, it's like they're trying to like be like, oh no, Andrew Garfield and Sylvie Maguire aren't gonna be in this.
They captured that man in 4K. There's like you could see like parts of his suit moving with when he's talking. Like you can't fake that with like CGI. That's not deep fake. He's in that.
The
Fucking Andrew Garfield. No, I'm not. I'm not in that.
I was trying to think of the
Reminds me of that YouTube clip. I saw the meme where he's doing Spider-Man tricks on the street, get chicks tips on the legs.
I guess there wasn't a whole lot to talk about with. I was thinking about video games because, like, what really is coming out? Because all that I can't think about.
Not a lot. And
there's
that's-
stuff coming out.
Yeah. Like there's some stuff coming out and some pretty good stuff coming out. There's a new God of War. I still haven't played the first one. I just bought the first one recently, still haven't played it, but I know a lot of people like talk about it. And I mean like the technically reboot of it, not like the old one because that's back on like PS2 or PS3 or some shit like that. I know you had a PSP, one of those.
Yeah.
But they're not like way different, but they're pretty different from what those ones were. Again, I haven't played it, so I can't really speak on it too much.
there's Battlefield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I want to try that one. It looks pretty good.
Isn't there a Call of Duty game that's supposed to happen?
It already came out. Vanguard.
See, I
It was
can't.
like another like old. I don't know if it's World War II or Vietnam or some shit, but they went back again.
We've talked about this before, but I guess we could talk about it on here about how Call of Duty. Eventually, people are just gonna stop caring. A lot of us stopped
Yeah.
caring already. It's just like they.
I definitely did. I stopped.
Like
caring
I
after
kind
the-
of started caring again once the new Modern Warfare came out.
Yeah.
I'm like, because it was pretty good, but like, it's just like they want to sell a bunch, and I'm just like, it's better to like wait a couple years and actually keep your ideas fresh and not run out of them because they're clearly running out of them, or do what
Yeah.
they're doing with a lot of games this day and age, but what they just should have done from the beginning because that's what it feels like with a new Call of Duty game, and that is just update your game. Just
Right,
be like,
yeah.
put some new maps or new campaign in it because that's basically what you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
Instead of selling a whole ass $60 game.
I feel like they should have just stopped after at Modern Warfare because they're already starting to put DLC from the other Modern Warfares, like other maps and shit. Like they had
Yeah,
Rust back
yeah.
and stuff. And they should have just kept it at that. And then they came out with Cold War, then Vanguard, and now they'll have another one by next year.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know. None of us, I think, knew Vanguard was even out.
Every single.
That's the thing. I
I
don't
go
know.
back to like the Crusades.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but me and him, we didn't even
Yeah,
know Vanguard was
cosplays.
out. We were just like, oh, there's a new Call of Duty game. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Battlefield, on the other hand, I've heard about and I knew that it got delayed. But that one, like, I like the fact that it's like, let's go in the future, but let's not go too far in the future.
Yeah.
Let's go 20 years ahead. So, like, some of it's advanced, but not too advanced to make it kind of modern.
Sure.
And I really like it because I liked, like, the modern Battlefield.
Even 20 years ahead is a pretty big jump.
Yeah, of course. Like, they're going to have,
I
like,
mean, technology.
yeah, they're gonna have like pretty cool like their own made up technology and shit. But like the fact that it's almost a modern one, like I like it how Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4
Might be
is.
Halo.
Yeah,
See, that was like, oh yeah, no, this isn't really do video games. I was just thinking about right now. I was trying to think of there was something on my mind. I was just like, I can't remember it, but you guys were talking, and I was thinking, oh my god, this is so much better. If you ever try to do a podcast solo, it's almost impossible because you'll sometimes forget what you were talking about, or you'll like not know how to transition. You'll just be sitting there.
right. Yeah,
That's what I was saying. It's like it's nice with the three of us, but as long as there's two of
Speaking of
us,
transition, how much more of video games
Well, hang on. Well, as long as there's not that much, I don't think we have anything else.
Well, I
to
mean,
say.
I still have my topic. That I was
Okay,
gonna
all right.
cover.
Well, I was gonna say as long as there's at least two of us, whether it's me and you or you and you or me and you, it should still work. It doesn't have to be all three of us.
Yeah.
Ideally, it should be all three of us each time. But if for whatever reason someone's not available, as long as there's at least two of us,
Right, yeah.
keep the conversation going. Anyway,
Well, what I was going to talk about, it's still pertaining to the video games. I was going to talk about my recent run of Max Payne, and I'll try to keep it quick and short.
how long
So-
is that? When did that game come out?
All right, Max Payne 1 came out in 2001 for the...
Oh, I thought you were talking about 3 specifically. You're talking about all of them.
I'm talking about all of them.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to go quick over them, because anyone who knows me has at least heard a bunch of me talking about Max Payne 3. I've sunk over like 220 hours into Max Payne 3.
I thought it was gonna pop the mic. I popped my sternum like twice today.
200 well, exactly since like my most recent play, which was today, funny enough. It's 226 hours. Yeah, but yet again, that's not like my most played game. I couldn't even tell you what my most played game is, because like all of it is like
Grand Theft Auto, maybe GTA 5, because it's been out for so long and it's just
no, because
I don't
like
know.
there's no way to really check it, because you have stuff that like goes over to a new generation like Skyrim and GTA. And speaking of GTA, it yet again is releasing for PS5 and Xbox Series X, and it doesn't even look any better, and is just a money grab at this point. But going back to what Rockstar used to be, I mean, the first two Max Payne games, that's not Rockstar. It was Remedy, the guys who made the Quantum Break game and also Control. I don't know if you've heard of those. And Alan Wake as well. I think they made Alan Wake. So they made the first two. They made the first one, it was just them, and then Rockstar bought the rights and gave them like $10 million to make the second one. And it was like, hey, we'll give you this money to make this sequel, and then you give us the rights, and then we'll take it from there. So they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And they made Max Payne 2, and then Rockstar ended up making Max Payne 3. But like I was saying before, Max Payne 1 came out in 2001, so it's an old game, and you can tell it's an old game just from like the styles of it. And there's no auto save, like you have to quick save, and there will always be like areas where like you're getting jumped by people. And I guess to explain Max Payne for the out of context, completely out of context, if you're just like never heard of it, which most people have, it's a third-person shooter that's very mission-based. And the first one, of course, is like very beginning. These drug addicts come in and kill your wife and child. And it's the most fucked up thing is the child's actually only 6 months old. But you then,
if you needed a reason to be pissed off.
yeah, and like he was about to quit the force and whatnot just to take care of the baby. And
damn.
because both of them got killed, he went back into the force and went to this undercover division and trying to figure out like who done it basically. And for about 3 years he was trying to figure it out, and he finally had a lead. And then someone in the police force apparently was betraying them, ends up shooting his captain, and not his captain, his partner, and then that killing of his partner gets blamed on him. So then he becomes a fugitive, and he has to, basically run from the cops and track down and kill everyone. It's very like, it almost feels like a Punisher game. Like,
Talking about the first one, or
yeah, the first one.
okay, all right,
Like the dark environment, because it's in New York City.
yeah,
The entire thing's in New York City. So it's all these like city dark environments. It's a super snowy night too, so it gives that dark atmosphere.
Alleyways.
Yeah. But man, is that game hard. Like if you don't know where the enemies are the first time, you are going to die. And that's kind of like the point, is they want you to keep repeating it and getting better and better, like get a better rhythm with it, kind of like the Hotline Miami games. I don't know if you ever seen those, like how, because in that one you're a one-hit KO basically for that game, so you have to get into a rhythm of quickly taking out everyone without getting hit. I guess I won't really get into the story too much of like everything that happens. Just throughout the game, you're just working your way up, and it turns out to be this whole, I guess, conspiracy type thing, and you get helped out by
What
people, but you're still pretty much alone throughout the entire thing. It's only you.
What would be your favorite of the stories? For which one? Like 1, 2, or 3?
Well, 1 and 2 are pretty fresh in my mind, and 3 I played a ton of. And it's really hard to say which one has the best story because they all have great stories.
Best soundtrack?
Best soundtrack is 3 by far.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. One soundtrack is kind of awkward in some places. Like every time you go into the graphic novel type thing, and that was their cheap way of doing cutscenes because it was kind of a low budget thing at the time.
Nah.
They always play the theme, and it can get repetitive, but I mean it's a good theme, so it's fine.
See, I try to have good posture, but unfortunately, until we get the better setup figured out, I kind of have to crouch over for this.
Yeah. I also have a shitty chair.
Yeah, I can't lean back or else. See how I almost fell off it again.
Mine sits directly
I can't
up,
show you right now, but it's pretty ghetto looking, and it's just yeah.
Yeah, mine sits directly up, so it's nice and good for my posture. Buy a new chair. This is my old chair.
I was trying to see how long this cord goes. Maybe next time I could just sit there.
Yeah, maybe.
Just
chillax. These headphones go pretty far, so you can just use these maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Because I think this cord should go far enough. Do you have anything else to say about the?
Well, I was gonna go into. I mean, I guess Max Payne 2. I don't really need to talk about too much. I mean, they're old games, so
you don't have to do a whole summary of each game.
No. Yeah, like the first one, 8 hours took me. Second one took me about 6 hours. The second one, like, it has this whole like thing of, like, it's very story driven, and like it has a really good story compared to number 1, of just like conflict within the character, because it like there's this one hired killer that he kind of falls in love with after everything that happened, and she's also being hunted down by like some police, and has to do with the whole conspiracy part of Max Payne 1, of like why he's working with the hired killer in the first place, and it's just a bunch of conflicts there. But
which one did you say is? Well, I know you couldn't really ask about the best story, but could you say weakest story of the trilogy?
Well, I need to replay Max Payne 2, I feel like, but the whole reason why he kind of falls for the chick made no sense to me.
Okay.
And that's the only reason why I would say it's the weakest. Other than that, they're all great stories. Some people would say 3 is the weakest because they kind of... what's the word? Like, they kind of redo the storyline. What's another word for that? Retcon.
Right,
they retcon
yeah.
some of the events in number 2, basically, by saying this one line about, like, just passing off the whole hired killer they fell in love with. It was just whatever. I mean, it kind of almost seems like it in that way. I guess if it doesn't make sense, because he kind of just gets into it, and maybe that makes sense in a way. But, like, Max Payne 3, I really love the storyline, and it gets really dark. Like, really fucking dark, because it has the... I mean, I won't spoil that to you. I mean, they're old games, and everyone kind of knows about them, but I won't get too into the spoilers of how dark it gets. But Max Payne 3 by far has the best gameplay. It's really smooth, and like...
Well, yeah, this is the only one I've played, and I was like... Yeah. I was trying to only play it for a minute, but I was like... I just kept playing it.
Yeah, and you can kind of see how they implemented some of the shooting mechanics from Max Payne 3 into GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2,
right,
actually.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Michael's bullet time ability. I'm talking about like actual like shooting mechanics and stuff like that. Which they also kind of used the ragdoll physics for Max Payne 3 from GTA 4. But they kind of refined it a little bit more, so it was more realistic. So like if you shot him in the arm,
when did 3 come out?
3 came out in 2012.
Okay.
And then that's what 2 came out like 2003 or 2004. But 3... Wait,
2 came out?
2 came out 2003 or 2004. But 3 has the best soundtrack, though.
Yeah.
That's all from
As far
my
as
nice
other
spiel.
video game stuff goes, we don't have to, like, I can't think of anything right now, but we can just talk about, like, I like to talk a little bit about that stuff in this so we can get our nerd credit, I guess. But I don't really have much else to say about that. I don't know if Kevin has anything to say if he wants to.
I could definitely keep going with it, but I'm not going to.
Right, no, I
You
know.
can keep going with it you want, but I gotta get going, so.
Okay.
Did you
I was gonna
want-
say you
I
don't want
thought
to talk
you-
about your diet thing real quick.
I'll be brief.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything real specific you just wanted to throw in there real quick. Or if you could just wait till next podcast, or if you think you're going to lose it by then.
Oh no, I won't lose it.
Okay. Well, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
I was like, I got a big list anyway. So.
That's not a big list. We don't have to hit everything on it, but you gotta leave anyway. I
Yeah.
can't force you to stay.
Next time, we'll do nutrition and eating styles. Like we'll talk about eating styles we've tried. I was
Gotcha.
thinking maybe you can touch on carnivore diet. You can talk about your experience with intermittent fasting. I can go in detail about different ways I've tried eating.
Well, we can all talk about intermittent fasting, but like he was the one who was latest to the game on it.
Yeah.
I think it would be easier if we specialized on those things. 'Cause
Yeah,
then
yeah.
You can
I got
give
you.
your 2 cents. You can give his 2 cents, and we could all circle back to
And
fasting.
you can do what I'm doing. Just like
That's what
I
say, oh, man.
wasn't gonna be the main writer of stuff. I thought all you guys were gonna have stuff, but apparently not.
I was just kind of, I don't know, gonna go off whatever you got. Yeah, I was gonna say if you could do me a favor and just take that upstairs.
Can you press stop on his thing? Reach over there.
that. Is it just stop?
Yeah, just stop.
Okay. You got it.
Don't touch anything else though. After that, just kind of leave it.
Okay.
Press it. You'll see it. You'll see the red button. Okay. All right. There you go.
There we go.
Anyway, there wasn't anything else you wanted to go on about the video game part.
I guess I mean the fact that Max Payne 3 has multiplayer, but they capture the I guess single player element pretty well.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Thanks for the assistance.
Let me know if you guys get on later.
All right.
Well, I don't have Xbox Live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
If I could crossplay on GTA on PC, I would, but I can't. Yeah, it's such bullshit.
Anyway,
Like they could do it through the Rockstar Game Services. Like why the fuck wouldn't they? Oh.
does GTA need a sequel?
No, I mean yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean like, I
Unless
feel
they
like
could do
the only
something
reason
real
to go
new with it, but
yeah,
like
I feel like the only reason to go with sequels is to test out the new technology with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to push the limits of other consoles, because that's kind of what GTA 5 did with the 360, and like they were just pushing the limits, and they were able to push them a little bit further with Xbox One. But it doesn't seem like they're pushing it that much further for the PS5, and I don't even know if they're gonna have 60 frames per second, because that doesn't even appear on the Xbox One.
I don't
now.
know. I'd have to play. Hopefully they'll let me play this weekend. I don't know how the whole thing works on Halo Infinite. I don't know how that's gonna play because it's gonna be on the Series X, but it's also
Right,
gonna
yeah.
be for the Xbox One. So how much
Yeah.
more can they really do with? I don't know.
I know
It
some
looks
games.
fun, but
Yeah, some games have a difficulty right now with being on an old console and being on a new one. That's something that's supposed to be released as a new one, but they also release as on the old one just because not everyone has the newest systems yet. Like Miles Morales, that Spider-Man game, they came out with on the PS4 as well. And honestly, like on the PS4, it has a lot of issues, like glitches,
yeah.
and it still looks okay and whatnot. Because, I mean, PS4 Spider-Man in general just looks okay.
My throat is really dry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't know if you had more to say about the. I was gonna say something just random about Batman Arkham, but I can't really think about what it was. Oh yeah. I just really like the detective stuff. Everyone else is like
Stomach gurgled. I don't know if
not
you
the
picked that
detective
up.
stuff, the sneaky stuff.
Oh yeah.
I like to really make it like I guess cinematic as possible and like be like kind of don't always be invisible, just jump out at random points and scare the shit out of them, then just disappear and then be like.
I always loved doing that, but my favorite parts of the game were always the combat sections.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, not that I don't like that.
Well, yeah,
but still.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like when you're talking about it, it's not like you're disliking the other things. Like,
yeah,
I hate
like, that
all
a lot.
Those elements
a lot when it comes to just things in general. When I talk about something I love and I talk about my least favorite thing with it, like my least favorite song on an album or something like that, I don't say I hate that song. I like it. It's just everything else is above it.
Yeah. like on Californication for the Chili Peppers. There's a couple songs that I'd almost say were my least favorite, and that's like between, I don't know, I would say like Porcelain and either Easily or Emmett Remus. Yeah.
I can't think of that off the top of my head of least favorite, but I'm thinking about like, say you have a games in a series, your least favorite game in the series doesn't mean this game sucks, but all the other ones are good or something like that. It just means like I like this one, but these just little.
Mm-hmm. Right now, like it's kind of difficult for me to tell that with Max Payne 1 through 3.
Yeah,
it is easy for me to kind of tell that though with Dead Rising, because Dead Rising 4 sucks, but there's some videos I've been watching on it recently that like it makes sense of why it sucks.
I kind of took your word for that because I never played Dead Rising 4 and you were just like it sucks and I'm like okay, and then I never bothered.
Compared to the other Dead Risings, it's just not that good.
My favorite's probably still 2.
Yeah, no, 2's definitely my favorite as well.
I mean 3 wasn't bad.
Yeah, I like 3, but 2's my favorite. It'd go like 2, 1, 3, and then Off the Record. Because I mean, Off the Record is just a clone of 2.
I know I always like to make fun of 1 because of the weird animations when like Frank would punch someone or something like that, but it actually was a good game just because it was just kind of goofy.
1 has the greatest storyline,
but it was like intentionally goofy.
Yeah,
that's the thing, they weren't like
well, it was Japanese goofy.
Yeah.
It was, and like Dead Rising 3 kind of did a good job of it. I don't know. Dead Rising 2 also did a good job of it because it was like, no, Dead Rising 2 had a lot of punny like parts where like
that
Chuck would say something like witty, like
try to do like a one-liner and just like I don't know about that.
Well, no, it didn't like come off like bad. Like I always enjoyed them, but it wasn't like how Dead Rising 1 was, because Dead Rising 1 had a serious storyline, and like
I remember
Frank sometimes would kind of quip, but it wouldn't be to the extent of what it became.
I remember it was a weird decision for them to decide that each game was going to have a different main character.
Yeah.
So I think there was actually like 2 groups of people. There was the Chuck fans and the Frank fans. That's why they eventually had like Off the Record and what was the other one?
Nick Ramos.
No, with because Off the Record there's just Dead Rising 2 with Frank instead.
Yeah.
Right. But there was the other one that had take place after Dead Rising 2. Had both Chuck and Frank.
Case West.
Case West, yeah, there you go. Yeah. They had shit like that. They were like, let's bring Frank back because lots of people like Chuck, but
well, it
the Frank
was
fans
Case West then Off the Record.
Yeah.
Because I'd almost say they were almost milking the Frank thing, but they were also kind of like, hey, people enjoyed playing as Frank and Case West, so let's also have Frank be a playable like first player character and just do a whole thing like that for Frank's fan service. And that's kind of what Dead Rising 4 became almost, but they did a terrible job of portraying Frank West. They hired a different actor, and like he sounded like a fucking he didn't sound like a child, but some of his like jokes and quips sound like a child who learned how to curse for the first time. It's bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take your word for it then. I just remember.
I
really liked Case West because that was the first time you and me ever played together on Dead Rising game. Because I don't think could you do that before?
No, you could do it on 2.
Yeah, I don't remember us doing that much on 2 before Case West came out.
I don't know if I really played with anybody much on 2.
We did at a certain point, but it's just like,
yeah. But like when my original run, I don't think I really played with anybody. I grinded that shit by
I
myself.
remember I
all
always
the
I
time.
always wanted to make those lightsabers.
Yeah. I always had like a main arsenal of stuff, and like sometimes I would almost always have a lightsaber on me, but I would always have the Wolverine claws basically.
yeah,
'Cause
those
those
two, yeah.
things would wreck psychopaths.
The I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add about that because I had a
About Dead Rising.
yeah
I mean, I was gonna say that Dead Rising 3 did a decent job of like I feel like it did a decent job of keeping a pretty serious story and wrapping it all together with 1 and 2, and then 4 just went, yeah, fuck you.
yeah, dude. 2. That's the thing I just forgot till just now is the fact that the games had different endings depending on what you did or right ending A B C yeah.
They don't have that in Dead
So,
Rising
'cause I was
4.
trying to remember the ending and I was like, no, there's multiple endings.
Yeah. Dead Rising 3, it does have multiple endings, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to like get those endings because you have to like purposely fail to get them. And some of that's the case with other Dead Rising games, but like it's really hard to fuck up on Dead Rising 3, honestly.
Huh.
So you're almost always going to get one of the main endings. And they have an overtime ending too with Chuck in it, but you don't play
Chucky.
as Chuck at all. He's just a NPC who runs with you. Because they had that kind of like as a feature that they introduced into Dead Rising 3 where you can take survivors with you. I never do, of course, because they kind of just get in my way. I'm a veteran Dead Rising player. I don't need allies.
I was ever play Dead Rising and with having survivors and shit like that and be like,
Oh my god.
God, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's the only bad thing of like Dead Rising 2 did a better job on the AI a little bit, but Dead Rising 1's AI, oh my fucking god. That's stressful. It's really stressful when you get one of the people that you have to like pick up or something and they can't just get over something and they're still like just stuck down there, then they end up getting eaten and it's like, well, I can't help you.
I remember with Dead Rising 2 that not Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 1. I don't think this feature was there as much in Dead Rising 2. But Dead Rising 1, it was ridiculous. If you hit someone and blood splattered, it was like it was raining blood. Like you heard like it sounded like a waterfall of blood whenever you hit somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Dead Rising 2 did a better job of like blood with that. But yeah, Dead Rising 1 was really comically gory, I feel like.
Dead Rising 1 was the first time in a video game that I was like I don't know if you can say horny for it because it's like the first time I saw like like titties in a video. I mean, there wasn't like exposed, but like
yeah. I mean,
there was no topless scene.
There was characters. Certain characters had assets. Isabella and Jessica in the first one, and then Dead Rising 2 had Rebecca Chang.
I just remember if you took a picture,
yeah, it got the
you would get slapped or something like that.
No, it's more Japanese than that. It was the nosebleed.
Oh, the nosebleed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you know that game is Japanese as fuck.
It's funny. I didn't watch much anime back then, so I guess I didn't understand.
Yeah, playing it now, it makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like going off of that, I'd almost say like Yakuza is a great like blend of just feeling anime-esque but also being a great Japanese video games. There's a lot of great Japanese video games, but that's one of the series that's pretty good. I mean, okay, first 2 they're old and you can tell. 3 they're just starting to figure it out and it's not the greatest, but it's pretty good. I haven't played 4 or 5 or 6, but 6 has similar combat to they re-released 1 and 2, and 2 had a whole new fighting style, kind of, like 6, where it was, I don't know, more free, like, seamless and stuff. I don't know.
Part of me feels like maybe it's unnecessary. I don't know. It's just a nice thing to have. I mean, I guess kind of Namco Museum did this first, but like I just feel like more games should try something like the Master Chief Collection, like really popular game series should just put it all on one thing and then just like kind of continue that for as long as they can. I don't know what games you could pull that off with, games that are popular enough.
Definitely can't do that with Yakuza. Those games are too big on their own.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, you can't do that with those type of games. You couldn't do that with Grand Theft Auto, but like
hell no. You can.
Speaking of that though, like games that, like, I mean, well, even though Halo's just one series, I was thinking about Namco Museum now. It's like I want to play that now since I've played it so long. It's something about those old games is just like, I don't know what it is. It's just...
Oh yeah, no, I thought about almost playing through Batman Vengeance recently.
Or I think Dad has it right now, right? The Sega, the little.
Yeah, he does.
Is it Sega Genesis? Is that what that is?
Something like that.
I forget what it's called. Where you have.
We might have to turn on the light real quick. By the way.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah. Is it plugged in?
No, it's not plugged in.
Here, hold on, I got it.
But yeah, playing that too. I played that for a little bit. Unfortunately, it's like I still spend most of my time playing like first person shooters and stuff like that. But every now and then, I do get in that mood, and then I'm like, shit, we don't have that here. We don't have a Nintendo. Yeah, we don't have a Nintendo here. We don't have the Sega. The
PS2's up in my room.
Yeah, I was gonna say PS2. Do we have the Namco game here?
I think
we do.
We might. I also gave a bunch of PS2 games to Kevin.
Oh, he might have. I don't know.
Or I don't know if I
love the.
I don't know if I gave him that one though.
Love me some good old fashioned nostalgia.
Yeah, definitely
makes me feel safe more. Oh shit.
That's why I, even though they're hard as shit, or the first one's hard as shit, I really enjoyed playing through Max Payne 1 and 2 because they're older games.
When did 1 come out?
2001.
Okay.
I already mentioned
that wasn't as long of a gap as 2 and 3.
No, yeah. Well, 2 was only a couple of years after 1, but then
I know.
2, 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Well, Max Payne 3 had a long development process, and it almost originally came out in 2009 and got delayed a bunch, and then it finally got announced. Well, okay, how it exactly went was got delayed in 2009 when it was supposed to be released, and then it was just rumors and shit, and then I think in 2011 they sunk all of their, like, the rest of the budget basically into advertising, and advertised the living hell out of Max Payne 3. Like, it was even like playing like trailers of it in movie theaters and shit.
Yeah.
And I really wish I got to experience that, because you know what they played with it? It was the Tears song with that, and I can only imagine how that would be in a fucking movie theater. It'd be badass.
I remember back in 2000, well, it's 2006 technically, the year before, but there was Halo 3 advertisements everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and every time you turned on that TV, it seemed like, or whatever, you just like you'd see posters of it and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Thing is, at that point, it wasn't that long before video games kind of became sort of kind of mainstream. It became that way when Halo 2 came out, actually, in 2004. Halo 1 came out, it was like, people were like, bro, whatever. And once they, like, for that game, they had some, I guess they were well known amongst the voice actor community, but they weren't like famous people. But once Halo 1 was successful, all the famous people were like,
yeah,
let me in on this. You got Ron Perlman and like Keith David and shit like that, and it just kind of exploded just for all video games, not just the Halo series. All kinds of video games started having like famous, like you get Gary Oldman and fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Reznov.
Yeah, I've meant to mention this when Kevin's here too, and I'll have to show you a clip later. Kevin Conroy is in Max Payne 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's not like a big role or anything. He's one of the side like just main kind of people you kill, like little thugs. Like there's, you know how like most games like they'll have a bunch of thugs voiced by like 5 different people.
Yeah. So he's one of the.
Yeah, so he's one of them. Gotcha. There is one line like he actually has in a cutscene, and I just heard it, and I was like, Batman. Batman! Fucking Batman Forever. That was Batman Forever.
Yeah. That's when he jumps through
Batman!
the skylight or whatever.
Yeah.
Batman. Those movies, man. That was a weird time too. The Batman animated series came out, and that was actually
Yeah.
like
Really good.
for a cartoon. It was like dark and gritty, and it was like
It matched the
like more
comics,
serious and more adult like than the movies that were happening at the time, which were like just ridiculous cartoons put on the that were all colorful. I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird time. Batman Forever. I think we all liked Batman Forever at one point.
Yeah.
But Batman and Robin, nobody ever liked. I mean, technically,
I
you
liked as a
for
kid,
some
but-
reason. I never got it even as a kid. I'm like, why does he like this movie?
I don't know.
For years,
Looking back,
I couldn't figure out what the fuck Robin fell into. But
me neither.
it's mint ice cream apparently is what it is. Because I made the connection. I'm like, oh, they're at a fucking ice cream place.
Yeah. No, me neither. I thought it was some like slime shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I didn't know. I thought it was just like the most random thing ever. I mean,
Yeah.
still, the scene was one of the most
Like,
random scenes ever.
They
but still.
invade the Nickelodeon fucking.
Exactly. That's what I was
corporation.
saying.
He fell in the goo, the slime.
Yeah.
Nick slime.
He said, "I don't know." Right? That's what it is, right? You say, "I don't know," and then the
Yeah.
however it works. I never watched that stuff, honestly. I don't know how it worked.
Wait, what?
The slime thing.
Oh. I don't know. It's just some green goop they dumped on a bunch of kids. Sounds really bad saying it like that. But I mean, it's true though.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm not gonna get into that. I was gonna say something about Dan the Man Schneider. There's so much fucked up like shit behind that, which I will not get into on this podcast. But if you're interested, like just a simple Google search, it's bad.
There's always some famous person doing
Some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah, let's not do that. We'll be on a watch list for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure we already are, but
We all are.
yeah. But it's basically on the level of like Kevin Spacey type creepy, except not on a gay level.
Why does that sound worse to me?
I don't know. It's heterosexual creepiness.
It's not on a gay level, so it's not as bad. That's
Yeah.
what it sounded like. It sounded like you were gonna say.
Dan Schneider is a heterosexual pedophile. Who has a foot fetish.
Yeah.
That's
as far
do
as
you
he's
ever
gonna go
recall
with
like Drake and Josh and like
No, yeah,
iCarly
no,
and
yeah, I
stuff?
know,
Like,
yeah.
like
I just no one thought about it at the time,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's like this dude.
yeah. Shit grosses me out.
Yeah.
Shit's gross.
Said it like Chappelle. What?
I forget.
Shit is gross. If I forget what the fuck he's talking about.
It was the dudes getting married. I love you too. I love you, dog. Yeah, I love you too, dog. Let's get married, dog. That shit is gross. I think
That shit is gross. Yeah.
the Black Bush thing, right?
No, he's talking about people getting married. It's like gay people. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about. Everyone wants to ask about the war. Let's talk about the real issues here. Gay people get married, folks. That's right. That's how it works though with government. It seems like whenever something serious go on, all of a sudden, like Chappelle said, another special, like Michael Jackson jerks off a kid. Like they bring Mike in and be like, you know, they're asking a lot of questions about the war. And sorry I have to ask you to do this, but you're going to jerk off another kid, Mike. It's like it seems like this Corona thing. It's like it happened at a suspiciously perfect time.
Yeah. No, it's definitely like one of those things is like it happened to let a lot of other shit happen behind the scenes. And there's a lot of evidence of that now, like looking back. And I can't really say the specific things in particular that show that, but
You know, at first when the whole thing was going down with like COVID and stuff like that, I paid attention somewhat to the news and shit like that. But
Yeah.
I'm so exhausted of it at this point. I don't even look. I don't even like bother to.
yeah. The only thing I really look to the news for is like, all right, how bad is it? And that was about it. Like that's about as far as I went. Is how bad is it? And if I need to wear a mask where I go. Guy, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Why not?
Clearly just woke up from a nap.
Did you wake up from that?
Come on, we need some pussy in our thumbnail.
Yeah. Come here.
Pussy gets all the views.
I'm gonna come grab you. Probably should wrap this up pretty soon. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're like an hour. Oh my god, we're almost 2
Yeah.
hours into this.
Yeah.
Hold on. We'll close out with Clyde.
All right.
Hey, mister. What? It's okay.
It's okay, buddy.
All right, say goodbye, Clyde.
Say bye.
Say oh.
Oh.
Are you camera shy?
He's shy.
Oh. All right, dude. Fine then.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else we need to add. The stuff we can talk about at a different time. We've been going kind of late on this one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'm sure we can touch on more next time,
yeah.
especially with a third person here.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. He's getting needy. But all right. I guess see you next time.